Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing What If Deku Had the Red Thread of Fate Part 8. And yeah, it's been a while, and right now it's 2 where I am. PM where I am. Yeah, it's AM. Okay, let's get into it. Everybody already had their date, so let's get to on Thursday. Everybody's pretty much walking into the class. It seems all normal, but it seems weird for some reason. They don't know why. And the last person came in. It's not Izuku. It's not Bakugo. It's Ida actually. And Ida's actually texting on texting his phone, which seems really weird. And they're just very shocked. They don't know what to say, so it's all silence. And Ida is actually walking to his seat, sitting down, sending the message, and then putting away his phone. So everybody pretty much holds their tongue until a free period. So classes are regular. Everything is going really well. But when they have free period, I say it's very close to lunch. Yeah, everybody, pretty much all the guys are asking what's going on, and why are you like this? Ida said, what do you mean like this? I'm always myself. And Denki, he actually said, no, you always never bring out your phone. And when we saw you walk in, you were texting in class. And Ida said, oh, that's because I'm just texting to someone. What, is it a problem to have my phone out? It's not during class. So this is what happened. When Ida started dating, he actually got more relaxed, more laid back. He's still Ida at points, but he's more relaxed. And it's the power of love. I give it that. But people are still asking, and Ida's like moving the question around, not really answering it, because Deku pretty much staying right next to him and answering some questions for him that Ida can't really answer just yet. And then one of the girls actually concludes and said out loud on accident, wait, does Ida have a girlfriend? And Ida's not saying anything, a little blushing. Zuko kind of grins and just looks away. And all the guys, Manila is kind of shocked and very frustrated that Ida had found a girlfriend and he did not. And Zuko sees this and pulled a string. Get rid of the jealousy. And it's yelling in his head. And yeah, I'll end this scene. Not really sure what was going with it, but no, I'll keep going. So the free period was already over. They were doing another class, and then lunchtime. Zuko and Suyu is actually holding hands and going to the cafeteria. Hakakure and the tail guy, they're holding hands, but no one can tell. And they're walking to it. Who else did I shipped? And I think that way in the back, it's Kirishima and Mina holding hands, talking really loud, going. But they can't see Either anywhere. Usually, he's the very first person in line for lunch, saving a seat for everybody else. So they took some time and they found a seat. And as they're eating, they see Ida finally walking in, about 10 minutes late. And he's holding hands with a girl from Class 1B. So the guys and the girls pretty much are shocked and surprised that he's dating a class from 1B, but very happy about it. So they're asking questions about how they meet and all that. Now I skip to on Monday. They have done a few more dates and they're getting closer and closer. Monday, this is the day where everybody's getting onto the bus and going to the forest training arc. In the bus, everybody pretty much is talking, doing all that stuff. All the couples are actually sitting next to each other, laying to each other's shoulders. Ida is actually just laying on the window and texting right back to her, waiting a few seconds and get a notification, read it, and does again. So some people got annoyed and so they just cover their ears and start listening to whatever music they have or videos. The couples are not annoyed, they're just happy that he found someone. So everybody's pretty much getting to the stop, and the Pussycats came up. Zuko noticed them and pretty much is doing this comment how great they are. They're an old group. I believe the originals are not here. He said, I believe they are not the originals, but they are their great granddaughters. They seem very young. One of Pixie, the girl with the blonde hair and a blue dress, was going to hit him, because he said it was a really old group. But when he said they're probably their granddaughters, so he kind of got off free. Not really, because she already hit him. She pretty much hit him, and he fell down. And then he said, and she realized what he said. So yeah, that little interaction happened, but everybody's pretty much stretching, not really paying attention. And Aizawa stepped back. Zuko saw this, looked, and they told them where the training camp is actually at. And Zuko looked, remembered that one of their quirks, and right when she touched the ground, not even using her group quirk yet, touched the ground, Zuko made his area thread, and pretty much yelled at everybody to hold on to his threads. And everybody does. He said this out loud over the voice of her making the landslide. And the landslide happened. The only person that did not hold on was Manila. And he started falling. Until he grabbed one thread, but it was too late. He already hit the ground. So he's pretty much on the ground, face first, with his right hand on the thread. Everybody pretty much kind of chuckling, saying, "Oh, Manila." But everybody else pretty much was holding on. Zuko pretty much telling them, Aizawa pretty much is telling them, everybody to go down. This is a training arc. So they do, and they do the finding the beast. That scene of Manila trying to go pee does not happen, because he pretty much pissed his pants immediately right when the landslide was falling. So no one wanted to be close to him. Sorry, I'm trying to put all this together. It's been a while since I watched this area. Zuko is pretty much going around helping everybody. He's using one for all to hit a monster, and using his threads for it to hit it and get sliced up, and then ask other people, not naming names, but everybody that's not getting tired, to destroy the pieces for it won't group up together. So he's doing a lot more for everybody, using one for all to knock out, and his threads to cut through. And after this, they actually get there on time. I believe it was dinner time, so 1 hour before that, or after. No, on time. And the teachers are there, and they're very surprised that they all got here and got exactly at the camp. And but they look at the most of them, they seem fine. They're really tired. They're breathing heavily, but they don't show any scratches. But the main four are actually 5. Bakugo, Ira, Todoroki, Kirishima, they're all very bruised up, and they are asking, wait, hold on, there was a green-haired kid around you. Where did he go? And Suyu and Mina. Let's do that. Suyu and Uraraka is actually holding Midoriya. He was working really hard, and he pretty much passed out from the last monster. So they're holding him up and taking him to the inside and putting him down on the couch for him to sleep. And everybody else, since they got there on time, they have dinner. And then after that, they then take their bath. Right around everybody was getting into a bath, Zuko pretty much finally woke up and went to the bath as well. He wasn't really hungry, he was more filthy, and he needs to wash up. So that scene of Manila trying to climb does not happen. The scene of Midoriya getting hit by Kota does not happen, because he saw Midoriya pretty much bleeding, bruised up, passed out. And Kota just don't know what to do with him, and kind of like slowly backed out and walked away, not saying a thing. And Zuko, after taking his bath, he looks around and was asking the teachers to, where's Kota? And they say, wait, how do you know his name? How do you know there's a kid here? And Zuko said, oh, I have something to say to him. I knew this day was gonna come. They say, what do you mean? How do you know? And Zuko said, oh, my quirk. I can see into the future, and I need to talk to him for a bit. Just point me to his room. They pointed to his room, but nobody's there. So Zuko said, oh, okay. I guess I'll go next time. The next day comes. They do the ball throw, see how strong everybody's quirk is, and nothing changed. So everybody's gonna do their workout, their training of their quirks. Everybody's doing the same thing, but for Zuko, he's trying to expand his threads, and every time he's expanded, he's trying to hold how long he can expand his threads area for everybody to see, and they are close. The threads are close enough where Bakugo can see, and Todoroki. So they're affecting his threads as well. So Zuko is enduring the extreme heat, the extreme cold, and the explosion from Bakugo. They will never break, but it's affecting Zuko's body. So it's showing some burns and frostbite at different areas. So everybody's doing this. That's just the first day, and Zuko is talking with the teachers, and is also saying my red threads of faith. That's what my quirk is called. Pretty much tell me who is gonna hook up with who forever. And the teachers are intrigued and very curious on who's going with who. And Zuko name out the couples that are already together by his doing, and the ones that, and he say the ones to them, but he tells them not to say anything. One is gonna be developing today, and they say, "Ooh, which one?" And Zuko said, "Ooh, you choose." No, I'm not gonna say. It's more fun for you to watch. So they break the news that everybody had to cook the curry. So this scene of Bakugo in canon, Bakugo cutting food very professionally, very thinly but perfect, and Uraraka looking this and being very impressed by it. So yes, and that little interaction happened. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else for this part. I'm sorry, I just can't think of anything to add on. So the next, about half of the week has passed. Class 1B finally comes in, and they see how intense everything is. Zuko is now fighting with Bob, the guy in of the group, and then using his quirk. Everybody's very surprised and sees this and are very terrified to be put in that kind of training. I'm sorry, I'm going on blank on this episode. I had 3 or 4 days of thinking and I can't think of anything. Oh well. I'll keep going. So on the day before the last a day for training camp, say it was on a Friday. This is on the Thursday. So everybody's pretty much coming in from their quirk training, and Zuko going to his bed and was getting ready to go to sleep, but he hears a knock. And he opens it up and said, "Oh, hey, I wasn't really expecting you to be here." And it's Suyu and Uraraka. Suyu pretty much asked Zuko if they could come in. Zuko said, "Sure, one moment." At this point, it was cracked open just a bit. He closed the door and then opened it up. The reason for this is because he was wearing boxers, nothing else. So he was gonna go wear shorts. So yeah, that little thing happened. They come in, and Uraraka was wondering if Suyu is saying this. Suyu is saying, Midoriya, Uraraka was wondering if you could tell her anything about her soulmate and if he's ready. And Zuko said, "Oh, no, he's not ready. I'm not sure what it is, but he needs something. Some reason I can't see further than this." And he just pretty much chucked it up saying, "Probably it's because I've been working on them too hard. I can't see anything further than 5 seconds." And Suyu's pretty worried of it and try to comfort him. But Zuko pretty much tells them to get back to their rooms. He's really tired and going back to sleep. They're about to leave, and Suyu was about to close the door, but Zuko pretty much pulled her in, gave her a kiss, and said good night. Yeah. So the next day, everything's happened, and now it's the forest of courage. Izuku had not had his chance to talk with Koda, and there's a reason for it. So everything is pretty much happening. Fires start going off. The smoke is going off. Everybody's panicking and starting to try evacuate. Try to go to the center. The teachers are pretty much worrying because they don't know where Kota is. And Zuko said, "Oh wait, he knows where Kota is now at because he checked the future for 5 minutes." And he knows what's going to be happening. So he used one for all, full accounting. I don't remember how much. I said 10. Yeah, 10%, and slingshot himself to the mountains, exactly where Kota was. Right there at that point, a muscular came in and was about to punch Kota. At that point, Zuko gave Musker a 10% smash right to his face. Zuko is pretty much trying to comfort Kota as best he can, but it's not working. He's crying still out loud, and Zuko said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And Kota said, "He's the one who killed my parents." And Zuko said, "Oh, okay." But he's very stuttering on words because he's panicking and Koda's panicking. And that very second, Musker came in and punched Zuko right into the face, knocking him into the wall. And this little fight scene happening, the same thing. Zuko's not really using his threads because he's very focused on fighting against him and trying to protect Koda. But Zuko sees all of this and he's getting pushed down in the ground and getting very tired too. But Kota splashed water on him and said, "Finally!" And Zuko said, "Finally!" and said, "Thread jail." Right now, Zuko is stuck and Musker is stuck. Musker is trying to move, but he can't. All his muscles is actually making it worse for him, and Musker can't really move. He's trying to add more, but it's going over the threads, and he's getting stuck. And then Zuko said, "Thread tangled." What he had done is pretty much move the threads from him away and pushing it closer to each other, where Musker is getting crushed. Not being killed, but getting crushed. But he's using one for all mixed in with it to make it stronger. But there's like a one-time thing right now. He can't really control it well. And Zuko is charging up one for all and said 1,000,000% right into Musker's stomach, forcing him to get hit through a thread which is cutting off his arms, both of them. Zuko is pretty much jumping to Okoda, covering his eyes and jumping away because he knows for sure, and he checked his threads, that he knocks out and probably maybe kick the bucket. Sorry, it's very late for me. I can't really get into all this fanning stuff. And Zuko pretty much get Koda to safety, and Aizawa tell him to tell everybody to watch out. But this time they don't know why they are here, because Zuko was focused on the fight, not focused on hearing it. But Kota sees and asks Zuko, why is he going so far? And Zuko pretty much turned to him, say, to protect the ones that cannot be protected, that cannot fight. A true hero will fight until the very end to make sure you are safe, to make sure everyone around them are safe. And he runs off. By that, Kota sees how heroes need to be in the world to protect everybody. If there were no heroes, then everybody would be scared and not go outside, not be themselves, be terrified of everything. So all the things that has happened during the forest camp is actually happening the same thing. Zuko come in using slingshot and actually breaking through his doors, doing again into the lizard man's face and making him knock out. And picks one of the Miss. It was Miss Magna. Yes, that's I believe. I believe that was her name. Don't quote it, but she pretty much picked up the girl and magnetized and about to hit her down, but Zuko pretty much hit the magnet out of her hands, and he used slingshot to fly faster. And when he pushed the magnet out, he used thread wall, and he pushed it right against his threads and cut them in 4 pieces. Now she seemed very powerful, but when she used her quirk again, it magnetized to one of the other magnets, and using her effect, using her quirk is not very effective. She's never done it with so many other things. So they're attracting each other, not to the person anymore. And then he started running away. Spinner and Miss Magna, yeah, are pretty much knocked out. And Zuko tells them that they're here for someone, but I don't know who. They tell all the priests, and he said, Aizawa gave me the permission to fight. Tell everybody else to fight as well. And that goes on. What was the next scene? Suyu and Uraraka is fighting with Toga, and it seems very even, but Zuko is expanding his area effect much further. Now it's 2 miles. It's a mile away right now. My last time doing it was too far. 1 mile away. So in 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 feet. Now Suyu is in the threads. She can see it perfectly. She knows how to maneuver. Uraraka knows how to get away. And Toga, she's trying to cut one of the threads, but she's struggling really hard. And she said they look like blood. Must taste. And she tried to bite onto it, and something weird happened. She actually, she bit into the very thread, and she pretty much cut her fangs, the fangs that she used, and they break actually. So her teeth is broken, and pretty much is saying that it hurts, covering her mouth. And Suyu pretty much is telling her these threads are not able to be broken by anybody, only by one person's quirk. And she's asking who is it, and as her mouth is pretty much bleeding. And Suyu pretty much took her down, and Uraraka is holding her down on her legs. Suyu is holding her down on her hands. And here comes Deku, and see if yelling out if you guys need any help. Suyu said no, Uraraka said no, and Zuko said, oh, alright, thread gel. He already knew what to do and Zuko pretty much asks Suyu to knock her out, and she does. Suyu is a very more direct, very strong, since she's worked with Zuko. So right here, uh, Toga is not really have a crush with Zuko. Where else? He's trying to tell everybody that all that other scenes have happened. Compress is taking Todoroki and Bakugo away, and Zuko is telling them to tell Uraraka to make him a waitlist. She does. Tell Suyu to fling him off. At this point, his arms are not broken. Fling him off to the opposite direction. And Zuko said, "Please." She was gonna ask why, but Zuko said, "Please." So she does, and fling him off to the opposite direction. And then he pull out his arm, two arms, hold on a string, and does a double slingshot. It's getting close to the sound barrier. And then he does again, forward and then back one more time, and then the sound barrier slingshot, and start flying straight right after Compress. And when Compress looks back and see where the kids, he doesn't see the green kid. He sees the green blur and nothing else. He blacked out. And the reason for that, Zuko was going so fast, knocked out, pushed Compress so hard, straight to the ground. Same thing in the scene canon, but the crater got bigger. And this time, Compress is actually knocked out. Zuko sees the balls coming out of Compress's mouth and grab one of them, but one of them was just far enough and wasn't able to reach. And Dobby came in, picked up the ball, and started throwing flames at Midoriya. At this point, Aizawa pretty much is getting Zuko's with his scarf and pulling him away, just barely, only scraping one of his arms, but it's still enough to burn his arm. So Zuko is screaming in pain, but he kind of holds it in now because he sees that something's inside the marble. So he tries to crack it, and he does. And Todoroki came out of it, asking, "Where am I?" And what happened? Zuko kind of look away and look at Dobby, and Dobby crushed the ball and shows Bakugo. And Zuko is very pissed at this point and leaned back for his slingshot. And when he's flying away, the portal came out, taken, and Zuko came through the portal and right back out, actually towards Aizawa. When Zuko saw this, he tried to stop with thread jail, but it was too late and knocked out and hit Aizawa. At this point, everybody sees that Bakugo is being taken by the League of Villains. So at this point, I'm going to end it, mostly because I'm tired. The other part is I have not thought further up ahead. So thank you for listening and enjoy the rest.